Hello my dear friend, I'm glad to see you on the Tech Vector channel. In this video I will tell you what is the difference between the flagship iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max and last year iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max. And before starting, I recommend that you like, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell, so as not to miss the release of new videos. The iPhone 14 Pro Max carries forward the same rear design as the iPhone 13 Pro Max. You get the same frosted matte finish on the rear glass and a glossy finish around the camera module, along with the stainless steel frame that looks good but is a fingerprint magnet. There are 3 cameras on the rear of both their phones. Also, this year Apple has upgraded the primary camera to a 48 megapixels shooter. The camera bump is bigger as well. However, the biggest design change is up front. The notch from the iPhone 13 Pro is gone and is now replaced with a pill-shaped cutout. Apple has also made the Face ID array smaller by 30% from last year, so the pill is considerably smaller than the notch. The bezels around the display are thinner in the iPhone 14 Pro as well, says Apple, but only by a tiny margin. There is still the same lightning port at the bottom, along with the speakers and microphone grills. Button placement remains the same, and there are no surprises with the power button, volume buttons or the alert slider. It's all exactly the same as the previous iPhones. The iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max come in fewer colors than their predecessors. While the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max are available in Alpine Green, Silver, Gold, Graphite and Sierra Blue, the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max are only available in Silver, Gold, Space Black and the new Deep Purple color, which is likely to be in short supply. Apple's new iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max are equipped with a new chips called A16 Bionic, which provides 2 high-performance cores and 4 high-efficiency cores. It also includes a powerful 5-core GPU and a 16-core neural engine. The latest chips is built on a 4nm process and is faster, more energy efficient and drives the latest technology you'll find on professional Apple device in 2022. While the iPhone 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max are equipped with the A15 Bionic chip. The display is another component of the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max that will stand out among iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max users. Apple has finally added the long-awaited technology, always-on display. The always-on display on iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max uses the same technology as the Apple Watch, which allows Apple to slow its refresh rate down to 1 Hz to save power. The new technology in the A16 Bionic chip allows the dimmed display to display beautiful colors that go well with the redesigned iOS 16 lock screen. If that wasn't enough, on the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, Apple has completely eliminated the display notch, replacing it with a capsule-shaped hole that Apple has dubbed Dynamic Island. This feature uses the space of the True Depth camera system and combines it with the True Black of the OLED display to provide a dynamic space for displaying information from applications. This area shrinks and expands depending on usage. Apple provides an API for third-party app developers to take advantage of this feature. The difference between the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro is noticeable in the brightness level of the screen. While the iPhone 13 Pro supported a typical display brightness of 1000 nits and an HDR brightness of 1200 nits, the iPhone 14 Pro has an HDR dark brightness of 1600 nits. Moreover, the iPhone 14 Pro display can go up to 2000 nits in outdoor conditions for better visibility. The display of the iPhone 14 Pro is fairly similar to the iPhone 13 Pro as well, with only some very minor differences as far as the hardware itself goes. You get the same 6.1-inch screen on both phones, 6.7-inch if you get the Pro Max models. And the pixels density remains the same at 460 pixels per inch. Also, the resolution of the two phones are different due to the slightly larger screen on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Moving on to the cameras, the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max brings improvements on this front as well. The primary camera set up in the new iPhone features a 48 megapixels main camera, paired with a 12 megapixels plus 12 megapixels ultra-wide and telephoto lens. This 48 megapixels main camera does quad pixels binning, so by default you get a 12 megapixels photo, but it will capture more light. Also, the phone uses a crop of the same sensor to get a 2x zoom option as well. On the other hand, the iPhone 13 Pro Max featured a 12 megapixel triple real camera setup and no 2x zoom button, though you could digitally zoom in with the zoom dial. On the front, the new iPhone features the same 12 megapixel sensor, but the aperture has been increased to f1.9 from the f2.2 aperture in the iPhone 13 Pro Max. This means that selfie from the iPhone 14 Pro Max should come out better in low light conditions. What's more, the new iPhone also brings autofocus to the selfie camera, so you can take group selfies with better focus and more detail. iPhones have had dual SIM support for a while, with a nano SIM plus eSIM configuration in most countries. However, with the iPhone 14 Pro Max, Apple is removing the SIM tray from a US model of the iPhone. This means that US consumers will only be able to use an eSIM in the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max, on the other hand, had a SIM tray which could hold a nano SIM card and support for an additional eSIM as well. The iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max have received a new high-G accelerometer that helps in the detection of traffic accidents. iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max received support for dual-frequency GPS and received satellite emergency call support. The iPhone 14 Pro has been launched at $999 for the base 128GB variant, while the iPhone 14 Pro Max is priced at $1,099 for the base variant. This is good because Apple has kept the pricing for the new iPhone the same as the last year, even though there were some rumors that the price of the new iPhone 14 Pro might go up by a slight margin. Whether to upgrade to an iPhone 14 Pro or 14 Pro Max from your current iPhone 13 Pro or 13 Pro Max depend on what you use your iPhone for. If always-on display technology is important to you and you also strive to get the highest quality photos and videos, then it is definitely worth upgrading. Perhaps the only things left is to ask you guys, what smartphone do you use and will you upgrade to iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max? Write your answers in the comments below the video. And also like this video, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so as not to miss the release of new videos. See you soon!